This is West Virginia Morning. I'm Teresa Wills. You don't have to feel sorry for them, but a creepy crawly insect prevalent this time of the year is more sensitive than you may think.
By summer, from June to August especially, ticks are thriving in the high humidity and the heat. So basically, they're having their own summer vacations.
That story and more coming up this West Virginia Morning. Support for West Virginia Morning is provided by Hope Gas, committed to the growth and development of West Virginia to strengthen the community. Information at wvisforhope.com. Severe weather is expected across much of the state on Tuesday. Maria Young reports.
Southeast Ohio, Northeast Kentucky, and almost all of West Virginia are under a Level 3 enhanced risk for severe weather. Meteorologist Nick Webb with the National Weather Service in Charleston says that can include high-intensity rainfall up to 2.5 inches, thunderstorms, and damaging wind gusts of 60 miles per hour or more.
The main threat we're going to be focusing on is going to be damaging wind. We can't rule out an isolated tornado, particularly along the Ohio River, and potential also for some large hail.
The southern part of the state stands the greatest chance of flash flooding. The public is encouraged to secure loose items outside their homes, avoid rain-covered roads, and stay tuned to local weather watches and warnings. For West Virginia Public Broadcasting, I'm Maria Young in Charleston.
The West Virginia Department of Human Services has a new leader. Eric Douglas has more.
Carl Ayers has been named the new Secretary of the West Virginia Department of Human Services. Ayers has nearly 30 years of leadership experience prior to coming to West Virginia. Most recently, he served as Principal Deputy Commissioner of the Virginia Department of Social Services and was Virginia's Deputy Commissioner of Human Services, overseeing child welfare, Medicaid, SNAP, TANF, child care, and other major public assistance programs prior to that. On Ayers' first day, eligible families can also begin applying for the annual School Clothing Allowance Program. The benefit helps qualifying families offset the cost of back-to-school clothing for school-aged children. Visit our website at wvpublic.org for more information on how to apply. For West Virginia Public Broadcasting, this is Eric Douglas in Charleston.
The state has identified its top educators, with one to be named Teacher of the Year soon. Chris Schultz has more.
The West Virginia Department of Education has announced 5 finalists for the 2027 West Virginia Teacher of the Year Award. They include a high school English and student media teacher from Hancock County, an elementary reading specialist from Ohio County, and a science teacher from the West Virginia School for the Deaf and Blind. Since 1964, the West Virginia Teacher of the Year program has honored educators who go above and beyond to elevate the profession and positively shape the lives of students. For the past month, the department has steadily announced finalists for Service Personnel, Counselor, and Principal of the Year. All awards will be announced at the September 8th Champions of Learning Gala. For West Virginia Public Broadcasting, I'm Chris Schultz in Morgantown.
This is West Virginia Morning. I'm Teresa Wills. It's 7:53. Areas of fog this morning, rain and thunderstorms this afternoon. Some storms could produce heavy rain and damaging wind, high temperatures in the 80s. Tonight, scattered rain and thunderstorms, lows in the 60s. Tomorrow, chance of rain and thunderstorms in the south and east, but mostly sunny in the north, high temperatures in the 70s and low 80s. Let's talk ticks. Here's the latest science behind the forecast. That's the science-based report in which Appalachia Mid-South Newsroom's Bill Burton and meteorologist Tawana Andrew break down what we know and what we don't about the climate and weather in the region. Today, they take on the tiny blood-sucking and sometimes disease-carrying insects known as ticks.
I think this is the creepiest science behind the forecast we've ever done.
It may very well be. I'm already a little itchy just thinking about it because today we're talking about ticks.
Yeah.
What do we need to know about these bloodsuckers?
Well, they are very sensitive to weather conditions, and their populations can be influenced by temperature, humidity, and precipitation. So like most of us, they thrive in warm weather. Tick season typically spans from early spring through late fall, with peak activity between April and September. So as you get through March and May and temperatures start to get above 40 degrees, that is when ticks begin to venture out of their winter hiding spots to kind of see what's going on and find a host. By summer, from June to August especially, ticks are thriving in the high humidity and the heat. So basically, they're having their own summer vacations. In the fall, tick activity can remain high depending on where temperatures are the warmest. And then as soon as you get into winter and that temperature begins to drop, they become dormant all over again. But even as temperatures drop below freezing in the winter, ticks can still survive.
Oh, that's just not right.
I know. They become dormant underground or in even leaf litter that may be in your yard. So just keep that in mind. And most of us tend to think that, hey, snow will kill them. Yeah. Actually, it helps them out. Yeah, I know. Snow works as an insulator through the coldest temperatures and keeps the ground just a little bit warmer so they can live a little bit longer.
As if we didn't have enough reasons to dislike snow.
Exactly. I'm kind of anti-snow in this regard. But if winter temperatures are mild enough, then ticks will become and stay active all year round. So that's something to keep in mind for those winter walks too. But here's the thing. As temperatures drop below 10 degrees, research has found that a fifth of an area's tick population begins to die. I have never been a fan of very cold temperatures, but I am now. And research has also found that about 50% of deer ticks will begin to die at temperatures of 14 degrees below zero or lower. So it has to get very, very cold for us to start to see that tick population dying off in the winter months.
Doesn't seem too likely that's going to happen here.
Exactly. We don't get those kind of temperatures often. And while ticks don't necessarily like the cold, they don't really like extremely hot temperatures either, because if the temperatures are too high, that can cause them to dry out, especially if humidity levels are on the lower side. And speaking of humidity, ticks require a certain level of humidity to survive because they can easily lose moisture. So those high humidity levels keeps ticks hydrated and increases their likelihood of survival. So they're getting, their beautiful plump skin in the in the higher humidity. And this is why they're often found in areas with dense vegetation and a little bit more of that moisture in the air. For example, deer ticks, they will thrive in areas where the relative humidity is higher than 90%. Ooh. Once you start to see that humidity dropping below 85%, they will actually begin to die after a day or two. So 85% humidity is pretty high for us, but for them, it's actually a little low.
Ticks, you don't want to mess with those things. But we understand them better a little bit now, thanks to this edition of Science Behind the Forecast with Wave 3 meteorologist Tawana Andrew. Thanks for the knowledge, Tawana.
Of course.
This story was produced as part of the Appalachia Mid-South Newsroom, a collaboration between NPR and several public radio stations in West Virginia, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Visit the special series page under the News tab on our website to find a link to this story and more. West Virginia Morning is a production of West Virginia Public Broadcasting, which is solely responsible for its content. Support for our news bureaus comes from Shepherd University and Marshall University School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Maria Young produced today's show. Listen to West Virginia Morning weekdays at 7:49 a.m. on WVPB Radio, or subscribe to the podcast and never miss an episode. #WV Morning. I'm Teresa Wills.